Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden, he can't walk, he can hardly move, and look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years and this has never happened.
They say after every tragedy, it is not the time for politics. But if you can't understand that politics are part of everything we do, it's because you're not paying close enough attention. Especially right now, as Donald Trump's cuts left NOAA and NWS down hundreds of scientists, resulting in a 17% reduction in weather balloon launches nationwide. Balloons being the single most important source of scientific data as we predict the weather. And as we look at Trump's even deeper cuts to weather research in 2026, now is absolutely the time to understand what happened in Texas, so we know who exactly is to blame for this.
Can somebody explain something to me real quick? Texas is run by Republicans from top to bottom, right? So when things start falling apart like they are now, how come nobody ever says this is what Republican leadership looks like? Is the GOP allergic to accountability, or are they just assuming you ain't paying attention?
Have you seen this? More than 20 people are still missing after Texas got hit with crazy flash flooding in the middle of the night. This was the night of 4th of July, and a lot of the people who are missing right now are kids. A Christian girls camp got flooded, and apparently this happened in less than 2 hours. This is what that girls camp looks like now. The AP says the waters rose 26 feet in 45 minutes. Think about how tall you are. 26 feet is crazy. 850 people have been rescued so far. They've had to rescue people who were clinging onto trees. Roads have been washed out. I mean, it's awful. One woman said first she heard it thunder and raining, and then it started coming into her house, and then her and her son floated to a tree. Her boyfriend and dog floated away and got lost for a while, but thankfully she says they found them. And apparently one of the reasons they don't know how many people are missing right now is because a lot of people had traveled to that area to camp for 4th of July weekend.
This came at night when people were asleep in bed. Please pray.
Somebody tell the flood victims in Texas to sue the motherfucking federal government and the motherfucking state of Texas because they got rid of the National Weather Service and FEMA, and now they're fucked. Who said that?
Republicans are like a dog chasing a car. What happens when they actually catch it? I told y'all, all that barking and all that running, it's all fun and games just as long as they don't catch it. But the second they do, they stand there all confused like, well, what do we do now? Texas just caught the damn car. They've been running around telling folks we don't need federal government. FEMA is wasteful. Big government is the problem. And then boom, a massive flood. We have chaos, people suffering. And now Texas is standing there, tail between their legs, wondering if maybe, just maybe, they might need help. But see, when you vote for people that tell you government shouldn't help you, you shouldn't be surprised when government doesn't help you. See, that's the game that they play. Cut everything, sell you a fantasy about bootstraps and freedom, and then when the shit gets real, suddenly they're scrambling for the very help they told you to defund. So now Republicans have to either become the thing that they demonize, socialists, or literally let people drown. And that is the cruelty of it all. This is the freedom you voted for. Freedom to suffer, freedom to go without, and the freedom to figure it out all on your own. But hey, at least you're free, right?
Please do not get mistaken. Trump is going to treat the Texas flooding the same way that he treated North Carolina. I know that that's very hard to hear from a lot of people who supported Donald Trump, but this is what you voted for, and this is what you're going to get. This man does not care about the average working Americans. This man does not care that little girls were swept away from their campsite. He does not care. The same way that he conned you guys into doing a GoFundMe account to make it seem like he actually cared about North Carolina and used the hardworking Americans to donate to that GoFundMe account, where did that money go? That money was not donated to North Carolina. And he also denied any federal funding or relief or any FEMA. He denied it. He denied it. So please be aware, that's also going to happen in Texas. He's not going to give anybody in Texas any type of help or relief. because he doesn't care.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Alright, have you all seen what's happening in Texas? Well, crazy flash floods just hit Texas. And the funny thing is that Texas officials are trying to blame the National Weather Service for not, giving enough alarms to this. Well, you got that wrong. Do you know why the National Weather Service is not actually giving alarms? It's because the National Weather Service was defunded by the Orange Man's government trying to cut on government spending and doge. Well, this is what you get when you actually vote for hatred. This is what you get when you vote for racism. It always actually comes to hit you back because karma always finds a way to teach you a lesson. A lot of MAGA Texans actually voted for the Orange Man, but now they're trying to blame it on the National Weather Service because of their disbelief. Well, put it as it is because the National Weather Service was defunded by the Orange Man's administration. Let's take a look at these videos that I have compiled for you guys. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, hit that like button. Let's take a look. I'll be back with more.
Confirmed fatalities rose throughout the day as the storm's toll spread across Kerr County, Hill County, and the Concho Valley. Authorities reported dozens of people unaccounted for. Some feared swept away from campsites, cabins, or cars along rapidly rising rivers.
Oh my gosh.
Entire RV parks were torn apart by the rushing floodwaters. Some families were believed to still be inside their trailers as the river ripped them from their foundations and carried them downstream.
Texas officials are trying to blame the National Weather Service for failing to forecast catastrophic flooding that has killed dozens of people. No, no, no. Why was the Weather Service not able to do that, Texas? You know exactly why, Texas. The National Weather Service, the agency meant to warn people, lost 600 staffers because of Trump and his cult obsession with defunding our federal government so he can give that money to his rich friends. These deaths were preventable. We used to have systems in place, funded, staffed, ready to warn and evacuate people before disaster hit. But that was before a bunch of brainless mouth breathers decided climate change was a liberal conspiracy hoax and cheered on Elon Musk as he took a chainsaw to our national weather system because y'all are too fucking stupid to realize you're cheering on your own deaths and your own suffering. And now 27 people are dead. 27 more are missing. And this isn't some unforeseen tragedy. This is what happens when you elect a low IQ game show host criminal and his crew of anti-anything intellectual conspiracy theorists who think flash floods care about your political affiliation. And I don't want to hear that this is not the time to politicize this. It's the exact fucking time to politicize this. So people know your vote has consequences. Policies have consequences, and these people did not have to die, and they did because you're fucking stupid. No other reason. Texas is red, so congratulations, Texas. You got what you voted for, and so many of you cheered it on. The blood of your fellow Texans is on your hands.
Oh, good morning, Texas. It is now July 5th. Have you even heard from your president? Has he even made an announcement on social media? God knows he's on there all goddamn day, all goddamn night, and he hasn't said a word. He cuts all of the funding to the things that are going to keep people safe. Keep people safe, because he doesn't believe in climate change. Well, all of you don't believe in climate change for some strange reason, but that's another topic. But you haven't even heard a damn word out of the alleged president's mouth about all of the flooding that's taking place. All of the people in Texas who have died because of this flood. How many people are still missing? All of the property damage. But nope, not a tweet for you guys. None. That's because the alleged president doesn't care about you. Donald Trump doesn't care about the citizens of this country. He only cares about himself, his family, and his little billionaire buddies and how they can line their pockets, cutting everything in this country that citizens need to survive. The Weather Service, NOAA, all of these things, FEMA. Who's going to help you rebuild? Who? The damn man hasn't even acknowledged you. Hasn't even acknowledged you. But yeah, happy 4th to you, right? Happy 4th of July. You gotta be kidding me. And you people fall for his bullshit. Line after line and time after fucking time. The man does not care about this country. He only cares about the billionaires. He only cares about how anything benefits him. The rest of us and the rest of this goddamn country, we are disposable. Anyway, it's just another friggin' day in Trump's America. Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I'll see you all in the next video.
To everyone in Texas that voted the right way and did the right thing November 5th, 2024, if you are suffering right now because of the flood, if you're going through financial loss, I am so sorry. My heart goes out to you, and I pray that you recover from this. To everyone in Texas that didn't vote or voted for this dictatorship that we are now under, you can go fuck yourself. Bitch, learn how to swim. And don't be looking for help, bitch, because you voted away FEMA. So no one gets any assistance right now. Bitch, build a boat. I heard there are plenty trees, plenty logs floating around. Build a boat, bitch.
Here it is. He just couldn't help himself. Trump has blamed Biden for the disastrous flooding that occurred in Texas and then walked it back.
The federal government left key vacancies at the National Weather Service or in the emergency coordination?
No, they did not. They did. I'll tell you, if you look at that what a situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either.
He just refuses to own anything. And the reality is this occurred under his watch as president, and these cuts occurred under his administration to the National Weather Service. Now, the National Weather Service stands by their forecasting regarding this, but in new reporting from the New York Times, they're saying that the weather center that reports on the area that was most affected by this flooding was short-staffed. This is the San Angelo office, and they were missing a senior hydrologist, a staff forecaster, and a senior meteorologist in charge. This is according to the union that represents weather service workers. And the nearby San Antonio office also had significant vacancies, including a warning coordination meteorologist. So that's someone that helps alert the authorities that, hey, there's a major storm coming. We need to get people out. This warning coordination meteorologist left on April 30th after taking Trump's early retirement package as they were trying to reduce the amount of federal employees. This was done with Doge. Let me know if you think this situation would have been much different had Trump's cuts not affected the National Weather Service. Comment, like, share, spread the word, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
So let me make sure I have this crystal clear. Texas is flooding, like catastrophic level of flash floods. And of course they weren't warned because the National Weather Service was defunded. But the National Weather Service is being blamed for not doing their job and warning about these floods. It's almost like we told you this was going to happen. It's almost like somebody predicted this. It's almost like that was the whole fucking point. That if they do not have the resources and the personnel in order to do their job in protecting the weather, that people die because of weather. And they're going to say, oh, this is unprecedented flooding. Bullshit, because there are trained professionals who've been doing this for years and years and years. It could have been like, hey, we're going to get a lot of rain. People are probably going to die. We should probably warn them. And they're like, nah, your job is obsolete. We need this money to fund a genocide and fund fascism. Am I the only one that sees the irony in this? Like, you defunded an entire sector of scientists that it is their entire job to, like, pay attention to the weather and warn people when some bad shit's going to happen, and then some bad shit happens, and then you blame the people that you took all the resources away from. Who'd have thunk it?
Two things can be true at the same time. You can be absolutely heartbroken at the flooding in Central Texas and the 51 people that have been confirmed deceased and the 27 children that are still missing. And you can also be mad as hell at our government. every single time that a tragedy strikes and somebody says this was preventable, people always want to say, don't make it political. It's not political. It is political. If you don't think this is political, then you really don't understand how things work. The San Angelo Weather Center that was responsible for warning people of an incoming flood was left understaffed because of DOGE cuts. DOGE cuts have prevented the launching of weather balloons that can predict how strong these storms actually are. DOGE cuts have prevented the use of other early detection technology that would have been able to warn people in real time of the threat that they were in. We owe it to all 78 of those people who are deceased or still missing to do everything in our power to ensure this doesn't happen to other people. And that starts by holding this administration accountable for the things that they have done that have made this tragedy possible. Mother Nature does not care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, and for that matter, neither do I. We all deserve to know when extreme weather is coming. We all deserve to be safe. And by God, we should all use the voices that we have to ensure that other people are safe in the future. And I'm not sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. It's the truth.
We have never in our lives seen so much devastation in this manner. That flooding, I took a day off to be with my family. Had a great day. I'm unplugging, so logged back in and seeing what all happened on July 4th. And my God, may God bless them babies. May God bless everybody. May God bless the homeless people that no one knows that they're missing and that they're alive. No one checks on them, who's walking the streets, and that flash flooding happened in seconds. We have to get Trump out of office. I don't care what nobody says. Every single time this man does something, I just made a video about this from what happened in Las Vegas. Every time he does something that impacts people, something catastrophic happens on a mass level. The flooding, oh my gosh. It's not even hurricane season yet. May God bless us all.
So let's get this straight, guys. For months, meteorologists, experts, and media outlets warned that Donald Trump's budget cuts to the National Weather Service were reckless, and that slashing funding and gutting staff would directly hurt their ability to predict severe storms, that it would put lives in danger. And now, right on cue, a deadly flood hits Texas, and state officials are turning around and blaming the Weather Service for inaccurate forecast. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is what happens when you hollow out public safety in the name of politics and cruelty. The NWS isn't some luxury. It's not a partisan tool. It's the reason families get warnings in time. It's the reason people evacuate. It's the reason kids make it home from school before the storm hits. But McDonald Trump's second term has made it crystal clear. If a program protects people and saves lives but doesn't align with his agenda or help his image, he'll gut it, no matter who it hurts. And then, when disaster strikes, just like the experts said it would, they blame the very people that they've undercut. It's scapegoating at its most cowardly. This flood was tragic, but it wasn't just a freak accident of nature, guys. It was a failure of leadership, a predictable consequence of dismantling the very systems designed to keep us safe. If you're more concerned with scoring political points than funding the people who literally track deadly storms for a living, then you are the danger to public safety.
The flooding yesterday in Texas was sad, tragic, and the loss of most of those lives, at least, was totally preventable, and it was a result of the cuts made by Doge, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump, and it's cost American lives, and I'm about to prove it in 2 minutes. So let's start off by listening to a reporter's question to Kristi Noem earlier today, and I think it says a lot.
I live in Kerrville. Why was the National Weather Service not pinging their phones before 7 o'clock this day of?
That was a reporter who lives in Kerrville telling Kristi Noem that he did not get an alert until 7 o'clock in the morning. The flooding started as early as 2 o'clock. Now let's see why that might be. This is the guy that's in charge of warning coordination in that area, Austin and San Antonio. After 32 years, he quit because of Doge cuts. It says here, takes early retirement because of the NOAA's recent cuts to personnel and budget. They literally cut the budget in the area with the most dangerous flooding valley in the United States. And if you don't believe me, listen to the top guy down at the Texas Emergency Management.
No one knew this kind of flood was coming. We have floods all the time. This is the most dangerous river valley in the United States.
And lastly, here are the first responders down there saying that the weather forecast that they got from the Nashville Weather Service was completely wrong.
Everybody got the forecast from the National Weather Service, right? You all got it. You're all in media. You got that forecast. It did not predict the amount of rain that we saw.
So we cut weather service funding in the most dangerous river valley in the entire United States. And then a bunch of campers and a bunch of people who were around the river did not get their warnings until 5 hours after the flooding had started. You can connect the dots. This was a complete failure by Musk, Doge, and Trump, and it cost lives.
Alright guys, there you have it. Actually, as we have seen in the video, this is really a disaster because a lot of people, have gone missing. Others have been unalived. Others have been actually affected by this, for the rest of their lives, losing their properties, losing their cars, losing, things that they have been actually investing in for years. Now, this shows you that you actually don't mix politics with, public safety and public well-being. Because as much as you want to cut, wastage of public funds, the NWS is not just some party junkie that you can actually cut spending from. This is what happens when you actually cut funding from organizations that actually help and serve the people. Now, Texas officials are actually trying to blame it on the NWS for not giving, accurate predictions. Well, they were defunded, for heaven's sake. What did you expect them to do? Because they did not have enough staffs, they did not have enough, resources to actually do their predictions in time and to give accurate warnings in time. Now, reports are giving that a lot of people were actually in the area camping for the 4th of July. So they do not actually know exactly the number of people that have gone missing from these kinds of floods. Well, what do I want to say? Well, this is a reflection of the MAGA selfishness and the Republican selfishness, because you cannot cut funding from organizations that actually are public and are benefiting the people, making sure that people are safe. Well, we do understand that weather disasters actually don't come in from day to day or every other time, because it can take even months or years before a disaster like this is actually seen. But as much as it takes time for these things to happen, they do happen for sure, because the US, from their geographical positioning, is prone to tornadoes, it's prone to flash floods like these ones, it's prone to cyclones, it's prone to a lot of natural disasters. Now, as much as they don't happen often, they do happen, and we need to be ready when it happens. And such organizations like the National Weather Service need to be ready when it actually happens, not when it's about to happen or after it happens. This is what you get when you vote for policies that you did not understand how they do affect you. This is the problem with MAGA voters, because they went ahead and cheered "Make America Great Again," waving them red flags, wearing them red hats, "Make America Great Again," and voting for the orange man's policies without even trying to do a research and know how it does affect them. And the funny thing is that if you look at the research, most of the orange man's policies have actually affected red states more than they have blue states. They have affected MAGA more than it has actually affected other people. Well, this is what you get when you vote for hatred, when you vote for racism, when you vote for the policies that you did not understand, when you vote against your best interest. Well, my sympathies go to the families that have actually, lost their loved ones, or whom their loved ones are still missing. But we need to learn from things like this. These are not organizations that you can just cut funding from. And the only saddest part is that, they're cutting funding not to put it or direct it to a better cause, but, go ahead and give tax cuts to billionaires and corporations. Doesn't make sense. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about today's episode. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing, hit that like button. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments, and as always, see you in the next episode.